Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final day of week 2 here at DMV Rivals. The temperature might be dropping very, very significantly, but the action is heating up today. My name is Shiv. I'm joined by Derive here on the desk
Hello.
today.
It is definitely cold out here. We've got record weather. It's kind of fitting for the winter season. But yeah, today we're joined by two teams. We Heckin' One versus Knights Radiant. Both these teams actually are coming in with a different record. So Knights Radiant is 1-0. We Heckin' One is 0-1. Mainly just due to the format. Since we have 18 teams in a Swiss format, we'll have 8 and 8 even matches, but the two extra teams will end up having an uneven match. That being said, I'm expecting a really good game today. I think these two teams might be closely matched, so I guess we'll have to see if the results matter.
Yeah, and we are away into draft already. So Yanara starting us off on the blue side for We Heckin' One. Knights Radiant responding with Jin Zyra. Was a bot lane that they played in week 1 as well, but Zyra could be flexed into the jungle. No, Knights Radiant played Brand in the jungle, so they are very willing to throw down those AP farming junglers. As we'll see what We Heckin' One wants to respond with.
Yeah, I'd say Yunara is kind of your classic staple ADC right now. It's really strong. Once you hit that ultimate towards mid-game team fights, you can really just pop off. They're pairing it with the Seraphine, which is fairly interesting. I think sometimes we've seen like Yunara Lulu inside of pro play. Seraphine also a pretty strong champion right now, just with the healing and shielding. On the other side, Camille now being locked in, looking to kind of get some dive onto the Yunara and Seraphine and try to get that backline access.
Yeah, is basically blind for the Camille. They could always move the Mundo up there if We Heckin' One really wants to, but you can see Knights Radiant respecting anything that could be coming out against the Camille. So no Varus top. I know Fire played that in week 1 to mixed results, and it also seems like the best top laner on the patch somehow. So a good ban to get Varus out of there.
I feel like just every year or so, you just randomly see Varus top become meta. I don't know what triggers it, but the stats don't lie, so a good ban from them. And also, there looks like they're banning out Syndra. They have Jin and Zyra, both which can easily get hit by the Scatter of the Week, so I think that's a good option there. And then on the other side, Diana being banned, a really staple jungle right now. I think it was got nerfed on the patch. Also, Yasuo being banned. So this might just be some information that they have either through scrims or through previous results. They are anticipating some kind of combo.
Yeah, Knights Radiant has usually been okay with taking up whatever mage they can in the mid lane, but they are running back a comp very similar to their game 3 win from week 1. Brand locked in for the jungle and just providing them so much damage, even if, not much CC right now between their top side.
Yeah, I think Tavern Drunk, a really good performance on this brand. I think paired with the Zyra, you have such easy pick potential. Like if the Zyra root lands, you can easily just brand full combo them. And then here on the other side, we kind of see what happens when you blind Camille. They didn't really protect it too much with bans, so it's now facing into the Renekton, who will have a probably make a nice meal of the Camille.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a nice matchup early for Fire on that Croc. But now, going to have Orianna round us out, and we'll see if there's anything that Knights really wants to play here in the mid lane. They have not gotten too spicy, but Orianna has been one of the better blind pick mages of the patch, and with so much magic damage already, curious if there's anything spicy here for the mid lane. But no, it is just going to be maybe a less damage from the mid lane mage role with the Ari.
Yeah, I'd say right now for the mid lane role, there's very few AD source champions around. A lot of it is kind of like that Ryze, Orianna, Talia, Azir, Syndra. And Ari is not quite in the same tier as those, but always a good playmaker. And with the theme that they're going for, with this Jhin, Zyra, Camille, I think they have a lot of pick potential, so I think maybe they're thinking of, all right, what's someone that can easily go in, go for a charm, and get out? Well, Ari is great for that, so I think it meshes with their comp really well.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of playmaking tools to just pick off people across the map from long range. But you look at maybe what these front to backs could look like, and they've got to get through a Mundo. They've got to get through a Dominus Supra Nectin with the lighter damage in the mid lane, lighter damage in the bot lane. And so Weaken 1 feels a lot more geared towards that more front to back. We're going to put our beef balls up front. We're going to have Yunar and Oriana supplying damage. We're going to have Seraphine supplying heals.
Yeah, I'm really looking at the Mundo pick. Like that champion, and just by itself, can walk flat out into Nice Radiant. I think without really too much stopping force. If you get CC'd, I mean, it doesn't matter. You will become CC immune. You'll continue pressing forward. The Seraphine behind your back, I think you can really do damage. That being said, Knight's Radiance does have some options. I think since they don't exactly want to clear 5-on-5, it might be good if they put some kind of golden resources into their solo laners. If this Camille gets ahead, then you can just 1-3-1 the entire game. And then from there, instead of going for an even fight, just take 2v1s, take 3v2s, and then go for some picks with your highly mobile, I guess, high damage, high burst champions.
Yeah, that's going to be the dream on the Camille, right? You're going to maybe suffer a bit through that early lane, but then later on, as you get the Triforce, your other items, you start just chunking out towers. Do have a bit of a client bug, unfortunately, as custom games have want to do as of late, so we'll try to get into game as soon as we can. Any final thoughts here, Mr. Derive, on the comps we're
I
looking at
mean,
here?
if I were to like favor a comp, I'd say We Heckin' 1 is definitely favored in my mind. Not only are their champions kind of just meta, like they're really strong on the patch. Like you have Yunara, that's pretty broken. Oriana is one of the staple mid laners right now. But also, I think it's just easier to play. It is just simply you run at someone, you go for an Oriana Shockwave, or you go for a Mundo Cleaver into a Seraphine ult. You have a lot of options in the 5-on-5. So assuming the map doesn't completely fall apart, I would give it an edge to them. But once again, Nice Radiant can definitely play through that 1-3-1. We'll have to see if they are coordinated, if they have that kind of macro sense to be able to pull it off. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, looks like whatever client bug is being worked around should be good to get into game relatively soon here. It is a pretty different look than the compositions that We Heckin' 1 played in week 1. Or I guess, not maybe entirely too different, but at least the champions, right? The only one that they've played
Yeah.
so far at this tournament has been the Mundo. They have not played a ton of like standard top laners from what I've at least heard. They've played more aggressive bot lanes as well, so we'll see what they can cook up here with something that is going to be likely favored in those 5-on-5.
It was kind of interesting. I mean, Nightstun even pulled out the Gwen mid lane. That's pretty interesting. Last time also was on the Syndra, so it's pretty similar with the Oriana pick there. But yeah, I think they also, I guess with the Varus Ben, just kind of throw back to when Fire LaFleur was picking that Ghost Flash lethal tempo Varus. I think he maybe was just ahead of the time. But now that's a bit well known. It's definitely getting some attention.
Yeah, pretty well known. And in his last game with it, did not go too well into what ended up being an Olaf counterpick. But this time, more traditional on that Renekton, even getting the opportunity to counterpick the Camille, which felt like an odd blind pick from the side of Knights Radiant. We do, unfortunately, have that good old 2-minute spectator delay, so we will take a short break before getting into game 1.